Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome to another Warno video! It's going to be a lot of action in this game, it's going to be quite exciting, so let's just kind of jump right into it. So I'm just going to hit the play now and just go on in. I am going to be playing the Berlin Command, and I actually quite like this deck with the infantry. It's just the lack of actual aircraft and anti-air capability kind of puts a damper on it, but other than that I do generally really like it. I am joined up with Plum as the 3rd Armored, and we are also partnered with Foreskin Panda as part of the 5th Division. And we are up against 2 Berlin Group and the 79th Tank Command. So I start off with the Harrier, check for helicopters, immediately come up against the MiG-23. Kind of do a pass, and with Plum finishing up with an F-15 to clear that up. So going to retreat with the Harrier while he flies it up ahead. I am going to be doing the more direct kind of push in this start, whereas Plum's going to be more of a support role, and I'm going to be using my infantry mainly. He starts off with a bunch of Apaches off here at the start, trying to engage these vehicles. And he just has them just going forward, not even stopping to engage, just constantly moving up to find out all the enemy forces. A little bit interesting, but he is starting to take a lot of fire from the infantry and taking damage, but he is trying to cut them off. I have these SSEB, which have satchel charges and AT-4, so that's definitely a pretty good weapon. I have the Fox here to also try to engage and hold off the enemy forces. PSSE engages there at the start as the MiG-23 goes in at the Apache. Blum was a little bit too reckless with the Apaches. I feel he should have pulled them back as soon as he could, whereas I start moving up all of my stuff as well. He has his Cobras here. Unfortunately, they get routed from the MiG-23 due to the fact that he's trying to cut them off over here as well. PVAD's engaging the MiG-23 as the F-15 is on the retreat, but it looks like he's going to get away from that MiG-23 just in time. Not a lot of AA with my ally here, but the Roland 3 is there. Does take out the Cobra, does take out another Cobra, I think, whereas my PVADs try to engage. I don't really have anything that can take out actual aircraft. I mean, yes, they could shoot at aircraft, but for the loiter distance in time, it's kind of a crapshoot of whether I would actually shoot them down. As you can see, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. They'd have to stay a long time in order to really be shot down. Now, he pushed in with his Sappery, but he has KDA Schützen. Now, I do have RAF rifles, which I actually quite like. They are reservists, but they're 12-man squads, and I paired them up with military police to try to get rid of the reservist strategy, but these KDH Schützen, they don't have any military police, and they're actually doing quite well. So I'm thinking about, I actually kind of replaced my military police after this, mainly because these military police aren't the good ones with the recoilless rifle. They just have the regular M16s. But as you can see, I am starting to be pushed out. My PSSE are out of satchel charges and are engaging the Mod Schützen as best they can. It's down the last guy. There's a Grenadier Flamer coming up. My RAF rifles are barely holding on. And all of my infantry was wiped out, but that's because I am up against, I think, 2 people. I only see 1 there at the moment, but I'm pretty sure there was a second one of just sheer amount of KDA Schützen, which come in 14-man squads compared to my 12. And so they were able to take them out, not to mention backup by the T-55s. My Milans are actually out of ATGMs from firing so much, and I have an M1 IEP Abrams here that's able to, can't quite see them, but it's able to shoot at any enemy forces that come up. I do back it up a little bit, while also moving up the stuff to solidify here. I have a bunch of my units positioned over here, including military police to be able to reinforce these RFA rifles, as well as 50 cal, as well as moving up a Fox to engage this Pax. Now the Pax actually cannot see this Fox because this Fox has good stealth, so he actually has no choice but to run. So this is why I kind of like the Fox. They're able to get up really good fast and trying to kind of cut off or shoot at any enemy at the beginning when they're not completely set up. Plum is beginning to mortar where he suspects the enemy infantry are, but if we were to, if we were to go to neutral, it looks like he actually killed the CV that was here. So that was actually a really good one that he did. Going back into here, you see that they're pushing forward. I have no doubt that they're pushing forward. I do have a bunch of reinforcements, and I thought, fine, if you're going to use reservist spam, I'm going to use reservist spam with my RAF rifles, backed up by Pioneers and Bedfords and all sorts of stuff. As more mortars are coming down, T-55 is coming, but I'm hoping that my M1IP Abrams command will be able to get a good side shot when they come down along here. Over here on the right, Forsaken Panda actually has a bunch of infantry that are actually going to go around and flank all the way around. So I actually kind of like this. Is that it's good. It takes a long while and a big investment, but once it gets here, oh, it will pay off because that's the last thing the enemy will be expecting. M1 IP Abram manages to find the T-55 AM, but the T-55 was able to open up and hit the IP Abrams. IP Abrams does kill that, but there is another one that shows up. He smokes out as the M1 AP gets shot at by the KDA shoots it. They have RPG-7s and only 13, but but they still do heat, so 3 of those will take them out. So I smoke out and I'm trying to retreat. Knowing that they don't have any CV in here at the moment, I do feel comfortable of trying to get him out, but I'm trying to escape. Cluster comes and is trying to drop the bombs, but he didn't actually do it, and he actually did get shot down. Not sure which one actually claimed the kill, but T-55 does fire and does kill my Abrams command, so that is unfortunate, but fortunately, we still have this zone, even though we don't have either CV inside. Forsaken Panda has cut off this narrow choke point, so the enemy can't actually come forward at all as a massive air battle is flying overhead. F-15 versus MiG-23. 2 MiG-23s. The F-15 is not going to be making out with that very well. These only have infrared RM-60s, but the F-15 fortunately is faster than them. 1400, yeah, so he is going to escape because they don't have any long-range missiles, so he was able to get that out. Plum moves up a bit with fire team find that the KDA shoots it, whereas as you can see, I am really gearing up. I have AMX-30s with their autocannons to provide extra firepower. I've got flamethrowers as well as a bunch of RAF. The only thing I'm not really having my infantry combination is a lot of AT, and I realize I'm a little light on the AT with infantry, so I do fix that after this game, but right now that's not quite the case. And they do capture this point, finally getting their +2 after we've had it for so long, as they are, Plum is trying to push in a little bit forward on here onto the left, and I'm bringing up a Berlin light rifle to cover him. Now, I do like Berlin light rifles, especially this recoilless rifle. It has 1400 meter range, so it can actually engage all the way to those bot shoots. And yes, they are engaging with the recoilless rifle because that has about almost 1 HE. They can shoot at infantry too, so I do like these Berlin light rifles, and that's kind of they're the staple of why I really like the Berlin command deck. But anyways, my blob is built up. I have multiple military police set up to keep the cohesion up high, keep installed discipline, and then we're just going to blob forward. My biggest fear here was that I was going to be bombed right here, but Plum was like, no, I got you. My 15th are ready. We'll shoot down any bombers that come forward. AMX-30s are going to move up. Now, their armor is just enough that the KDA shoots-ins won't be able to one-shot them, and that's the big thing. And they'll be able to engage with both their main cannon and autocannons. And as you can see, really rip apart the KDA shoots-in. I even moved one of these regular rifles that have Law 80s into the building here to be able to provide better line of sight and fire onto these KDA. I saw that MiG-21. I was scared it was going to come and bomb my blob here, but no, he tries to slow down Plum right there. My Stinger takes a pot shot at it, but it does get away. I only have man pads and PVADs, and that's the downside with the Berlin command. When I say it doesn't really shoot at aircraft, so it can shoot at helicopters all day. Aircraft is just a little bit of a problem. Harrier flies overhead, just trying to provide a little bit of support, but he gets hit by a missile, instantly gets shot down by a second one. Another MiG-21. Again, I was afraid they were going to come and bomb here, but no. Plum's little push here has got them all panicked and hot and bothered over there, and this allows me to just constantly push forward with my Sapirs and AMX-30s, RAF riflemen, and everything. So the Fallschirmjägers not going to hold off. The Wachusett also going to take quite a bit of machine gun fire, as my Milan 2 does manage to find the BRM. They do manage to shoot at my logistics trucks because I guess I forgot it there. I meant to bring it more to be behind the buildings. But my Milan 2 is going to reciprocate the loss of my supply truck by destroying his own supply truck. These units are still coming. We'll go check on them when they get here. And finally, the MiG-21 does bring in an HE. My PVADs, double PVADs, did quite a bit of damage to it. And it was Forsaken's missiles that were able to finally finish it up. And his bombs did only just take out one of the, only hits one of the Pioneers, as my infantry moves up so fast that we were able to basically avoid the rest of the bombs. They did come in with the seed plane. I don't think he actually killed anything as he fell back. And Plum is bringing up a CV Command infantry over here to try to capture that. I, too, will be bringing up my own infantry to command to help capture this. More of my RF rifles are moving up, trying to overwhelm the Volkswagen Jaeger and the Wachusett. This is what he did to me with the KDA Schutzen. This time I'm returning the favor with the RF rifles, which have 4 submachine guns, 7 battle rifles, and 1 even medium machine gun. So they have a lot of firepower, and they also get the security traits, which means they can actually get better recon. So they can kind of act as a recon unit in a pinch, as they are supposed to be reserve units. So as you can see here, I don't actually have any recon here. Well, actually I do, I have the sec, but they can serve as their own recon to see if anything here. I have a Berlin CV here, but I guess I just somewhat forgot about him. But I do recognize him later. He's going to play a role later on into the game. And yeah, right now we finally managed to push them up. I'm trying to secure the buildings all here. MiG-21 coming in with its bombs, misses them. And again, the PVADs did a lot of bit of damage, and Panda was able to clean it up as it flew right into his AA net. Flamethrowers got in, and now it's a flamethrower duel as both buildings are burning, and not a firefighter is going to be coming to put down that fire. Chieftain Mark 10 just moved up, is going to be engaging this PAC 100. Bradley's also going to come up to help try to clean it up. It tries to return fire, but does miss, and so the Chieftain moves up. And I had a different philosophy. I do have M1 IPs. The Chieftain has a better gun than the M1 IP, whereas the M1 IP has better armor. So I picked the Chieftain when I want to have better killing power, and I picked the IP when I want better survivability. It makes sense in my mind. As I'm moving up, the Law 80s are going to be clearing up those mirror uses, and I am trying to find the CV. I know the CV is somewhere here. Flamethrowers continue to move on, but it looks like the Grenzers finally lost due to the sheer amount of firepower that we had over here. I'm also moving up some RAF rifles and regular rifles over here, and my idea is to hit this land strip, clear out any enemies here, and then clear this up so that Panda can move up and claim this area as well. A lot of artillery is coming in, but again, as you can see, I am really pushing forward so fast that they can't even keep up with their artillery. Chieftain Mark 10 and Bradley is trying to hold off against all the enemy infantry. This 30mm grenade is what I'm really fearful of. Bradley killed the vehicle with an ATGM. Cub flies in as an F-111 with its cluster comes on in to try to clear everything up. Let's see how well that does. Kills a few vehicles. Here comes another line of cluster. Did quite a bit of damage there. So now there are shoots it, but I have been pushing so hard that my units are starting to get exhausted. Chieftain Mark 10 is the only thing that's able to is really keeping them into the fight, but he is starting to take fire here, and it looks like they actually reversed the CV out of the zone to try to keep it alive. That's actually pretty smart, so that you don't lose the CV needlessly. And I do feel like this side has kind of an easier time capturing this zone due to that you can put your CV back a bit farther compared to like this middle land bridge area. So I actually thought I killed the CV when I captured the zone. So these guys, originally I was going to just continue pushing over here onto the right, but something changes my plan, as you can see. SU-25 comes in with its armor, is able to shrug off the PVADs, but due to its slow speed, it does get shot at and nearly killed, but the F-15, little bit ham going in there a little too deep, needs to be kind of be pulled back there. Rifles are out of Law 80s, and the Mi-AT is going to clean that up. PVADs, again, going ham on these SU-22s, doing quite a bit of damage, but not quite a lot. I have my Harrier rockets. Rocket in position. I last spotted an enemy, I think, was shooting at my Chieftain Mark 10 as they go and fall back. I do like rocket planes. They're actually pretty good. And due to the fact that I lost all my infantry and all these guys are moving back, with my logistics trucks coming in to help repair them up, I redirect my RF rifles and my regular rifles with the Law 80 to kind of go over here. But I think with all the flamethrowers and stuff that they're kind of going to be pushed back. These RF rifles are going to go forward and be as a screen up here. And again, I'm moving over to the right to try to help out Forsaken Panda because he's kind of in a difficult, well, into quite a bit of a battle against Jedi Knight. So, yeah, like I said, lots of stuff going on, and here comes a whole bunch more infantry. I'm bringing up the Berlin Light Rifles with more military police to try to reinforce, to get the cohesion of anybody whose cohesion is down, but I'm actually noticing the cohesion is quite high, except for the Chieftain Mark 10. So again, I actually filtered out these recoilless rifles, these military police. Now, the military police with the recoilless rifles, though, they're definitely good, because, well, they have a recoilless rifle on them. So these guys, their entire goal is to clear out these infantry to allow Panda to move up onto the left-hand side. He is being pushed back quite a bit. His CV was actually taken out, but with his eclairs, he's able to spot quite a few important things, and he's calling in artillery to try to take that out as more eclairs are up here. He could have been a little bit more gung-ho, I think. He could have gone through the forest here, gone along back, and just kind of, park up here or here and able to really spot any enemy forces that are going on around here. Thunderbolt gets taken out by, I guess, a couple of cubs or bucks. Mephisto doing pretty good work with Milan. RF rifles are coming in, and they're engaging with the majority of their guns, but not actually all of them. And I don't think I actually realized this. So, not until later. So, I am actually 4 guns short in this engagement, and so I'm not fighting with a full squad, I guess I should say. No, that does not mean I'm an idiot. I'm a fool, not an idiot. Anyways, AMX-13 moves over to the right. I love these little guys. They are pretty cheap, only 60 points. And I really like them because they have 12 rate of fire. These are good for cleaning up light APCs or providing rapid fire support against infantry. So that's why I have these guys in this deck. Big 21 bombs, but by infantry no longer there, he ends up bombing an HA Abram from Plum. With the combination of our PVADs and whatever fire over here, was able to finally shoot that down as Panda was able to get his CV back in to help neutralize this area. We still have complete control over this area here. I have my CV moved up here, and my plan is, as you can see, to do another infantry push now that we've kind of secured here. To try to push here onto the left-hand side, but he does bring the CV back in. Most of my infantry are healing up with these Bedford supplies, so I just need to pair that as a rocket artillery barrage is coming in, and also artillery is coming over here on these rifles as well. The Mentes are holding off as best they are pretty good against these guys, but then I do notice I can move them up a little bit closer to engage with their submachine guns as well. Their cohesion is low. These groups could definitely have used a military police, but they're going to be backed up by several Berlin Light Rifles, as well as another push with the MX-13, Berlin Light Rifles with the recoilless rifles, military police. And that's going to go forward and try to find the CV yet again. But they bring on the Mi-24. I have my Mistrals, but my Mistrals actually can't see it because of this tree line, so I have to keep pushing them up to try to get good line of sight. And unfortunately, the Mi-24 is going to have free range against these RAF rifles. But as I continue to push forward, the CV pressure keeps pushing back as Panda's getting relief. Taking these buildings will definitely help out, and if I clear off this side, that will actually limit the fire from the enemy over onto this side. Simultaneously, I'm continuing to push up. AMX-13s are doing pretty well. Berlin Light Rifles are engaging. They're out of recoilless rifles because they do fire at infantry as well, so that is something we need to be worried about. Missiles are trying to get up to be able to fire at these Mi-24s. AMX-13s are engaging the Mi-24 with a machine gun. Admirable, but it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. AMX-13 is going to get routed by the Mi-24. It does quite a bit of damage. and I desperately need those Mistrals to move up. These guys are also fully repaired, so they're going to move up into the fight as I position my units all the way over on the left-hand side. Mistrals finally go up. They fire kind of point-blank range. I think only one of the Mistrals hits. Next Mistral fires, hits it, and it is routed. I'm moving a PVAD up as well, but I think that Mi-24 does, in fact, get away. And as a desperate attempt, here comes Buratino. And it is mostly missing my units. As they, nope, we got a good strike right there. So it ended up cleaning up my infantry and puts up a good napalm. That's cleared up that. Cleared up the napalm, cleared it out, but my PVAD did kill whatever helicopter was up there. I think it was another Mi-24. Chieftain moves up and is getting shot at by a pair of Fogos. And but I was able to deploy the smoke just in time as I back up for more supplies, as I moved up to Bedfords to resupply the flamethrowers and everything, as all the stuff that was repaired moved up. Even the PVADs are going to be engaging into the direct combat fire. Artillery's coming in. This is a hectic game. And it's only a 3v3. I just couldn't imagine how hectic it was with just a mere 3v3. Merlin light rifles moving up, firing everything. Their M16s, their saws, and even the recordless rifles at point-blank range, taking out the vehicles and infantry alike. And this kind of push has helped put relief on Forsaken Panda, who's even backed up by Plum. Like I said, he was trying to play more of a support role, so he was playing both sides as well. But hey, it kind of worked. We put up our infantry mainly, and he continued on bringing up tanks and providing the fire support that we need. Now that most of the vehicles are gone, my Terriers, I tell them to move up so the satchel cartridges can engage. The Sapeurs are going to be moving up and tell them to engage with their flamethrower once they can finally see the enemy line of sight as well. And flamethrower? Huh, that's weird. Flamethrower is not actually engaged. Does it have like a minimum range? It must have a minimum range. God, that's real shaky with all the second Buratino that landed. I guess I kind of missed of like what it was that was killing all of my infantry. I think I found out it's a Buratino, and now it makes complete and absolute sense. So apparently the Sapeurs, the flamethrowers, have kind of a minimum range, whereas the Terrier Pioneers have a really small maximum range of 150 meters. So, but anyways, I'm moving up, continuing trying to find the CV here. I unloaded the CV here. We have the fire team here. I still have a bunch of stuff here, but I actually kind of forgot about it due to how hectic this is. I'm trying to hunt down the CV. Forsaken Panda's commandos went up, killed, looks like a bunch of stuff. Wow, yeah. Artillery, APC, and another APC while also firing against the infantry that managed to survive. So that commando really ruined up whatever reinforcements he had here, as these declares are also providing support. Another Buratino comes in, so there's a lot of Buratino fire coming up, and I do need desperately supplies, but we have plenty of PVADs to try to stop enemy infantry or any enemy helicopters and stuff coming forward. And even with this many PVADs, that should kill a plane as well. These guys are really low, so I'm actually starting to move them back. I do have a Chieftain Mark 10 here. Ready to supply, and it looks like they retreated their CV once again, or we actually killed it. And I set out the help beacon saying that I'm going to be launching my attack with all of my infantry as I unload them, sell off all of my vehicles, and sell off so I could get some more reinforcements pretty quickly. And I'm going to begin my assault on the left-hand side, because I imagine that they are focusing all of their efforts on the right, that they wouldn't expect a major push onto the left-hand side. My PVAD is, of course, revealed. Some more artillery is coming in. They were definitely quite artillery-focused. Well, I was, well, not. I didn't have much artillery at all. I'm bringing my Mirage 4 because it also has some bombs on it. So I'm going to be bombing thing, and I thought that they would target with its seed when it's dropping its bombs, but that ended up not being the case. It did not fire its seed missiles against the Cub while it was dropping its bombs simultaneously. That was very disappointing. It didn't behave how I expected, so I did lose that valuable seed barrage for pretty much no reason. I am again moving up again to engage these Pomo Chicky. As another buck comes up, F-111, Napalm comes in, but unable to drop his actual Napalm bomb. My Mirage 4 comes in and tries to bomb this whole area. I meant to try to go across here, but I messed up. the fire position. I'm trying to bomb this to really weaken it up as my infantry move forward. The Su-22 M4 sees all this stuff and tries to drop a cluster. Joke's on him. There aren't any vehicles in there. So yeah, they are low cohesion and panicked, but no vehicles were dead as I move up an M1 IP Abrams and PVADs to help support that. I'm trying to clear up enough of the area, and then the Berlin Light Rifles command is going to move up and try to take over Alpha. So again, we got to center strip. They actually managed to capture one of my supplies, I think. So whoops. But oh well. Trying to reinforce and repair all of our stuff up here as well. Blum has his M1A1 Abrams. It doesn't look like he has set up the settings for it to automatically fire at empty transports. He takes a hit from the Fog-O, but with 17 armor and the Fog-O's only 16, it's not going to do a whole lot as Plum moves across with his fire team and engineers, hitting the M1 Abrams, backed up by another M1 Abrams, so he's actually doing really good at the fire support. Su-22 manages to take it out right at the start. So that was unfortunate, but we do manage to get revenge by shooting at it. And with all of our PVADs, we actually did shoot down the other 18 plane as well. Infantry are moving up, backed up by Plum with an M2A2 Bradleys. We are getting a lot of orders and stuff here, and I actually didn't realize I had so much infantry in one little building segment, but I'm continuing to move up. More RF rifles are moving up. The recoilless rifle here is actually providing fire support with his recoilless rifle against the Grenadiers, as well as I'm finally moving up my Dragon to try to go and secure that. Another plane shot down by our sheer amount of PVADs. And I even moved my Berlin light rifles over here to try to help out, to make sure that this stays secure. Apache gets shot at by the MiG-23, flies overhead, PVADs go and again shoot down another plane. So PVADs do work when they're at a very high number and concentration, but they do have quite a bit of cover, so they are shooting down quite a number of our planes as well. RAF rifles and Dragons and M113s and everything are coming in. I'm keeping them in the vehicle just to save it against the artillery that is coming. But then I finally drop the CV and poof. Instant capture of the whole zone as they don't have any CV in Alpha. Which, given that we had Bravo and had our forces pretty close, I would have thought they'd put a CV as a just in case. But nope, they felt a little complacent as we go and capture Alpha completely as another plane flies over our PVAD control. Though these PVADs are only halfway through. They shot down so many planes, they're only halfway through. Harrier moves in with a bunch of rockets, runs out of rockets, but also runs into a MiG-23, so he goes down. As more reinforcements and AA are coming up, AMX-13 are moving forward. My CV actually dies, so they actually do decap the zone, and are going to quickly recapture it, and our attack kind of fizzles with all the buildings being destroyed. So I knew that we really can't actually continue the push along this way very well. And I will fall back and focus again over here onto the right-hand side now that they cut off this. But now I kind of forced them to keep more defenses over here for when our real push would come over here on the right. I was kind of playing a little bit of mind games, hoping that they'd overcommit to one side over another when they got caught by surprise and everything. Blum brought in a Kiowa with rockets, and it's interesting. While I do like that it has these rockets, it has too few, I think, to be really effective. And the price is a little high, so not really one of my top choice of vehicles, but whatever people want. I feel like there's really no way to wrong way to make a deck. It's just whatever you want to play, whatever your play style is. So there are some Monostroke and BTR 60s. I can't actually move up, but I did bring up my logistics, or what's left of it, to try to go and supply. Oh, and funny story. We were like, we are going to need a fob. And Plum's like, all right, I'll bring in a fob. And he forgot the fob, and he didn't realize it for the whole game. He's like, wait, did I forget to bring a fob? And he said this post-game. I'm like, yes. And he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, it's fine. So all of our CVs over here passed away. It was tragic. But I have my CV over here that was captured over here. I know that Plum has his CV here, so I'm just like, oh, well, you brought your CV that captured this forward to capture ours here. Well, that's fine. I'll just march my CV command over here and capture here. KDA shoots and actually come up, sneaking up onto the Chieftain. hitting it into the front. Chieftain's going to try to engage back, but there's so many infantry with RPGs that Chieftain armor is actually holding quite well. Well, a lot of those retreated, but it does bail out. That means that they left the tank, and that tank is kind of just a sitting duck for them to be destroyed. And seeing that they're pushing on the right and they're pushing on the left, I'm like, all right, these guys are in an untenable position now, and I need to retreat them. And at this point, I'm running out of infantry. I'm literally starting to just buy stuff because all of the selling of the vehicles got me so many points. I brought in so much of my infantry and stuff. I actually brought in pretty much my entire deck, and I was still floating so many points. So I definitely reevaluated my deck to try to put a few more points that I could spend, because I definitely can outspend my deck if the game goes on long enough, as we are approaching the half-hour mark. So that was definitely eye-opening for this. KDA shoots and fires, but misses with its RPG. PVAD comes back and is firing at point-blank range. Kind of panicking up. My logistics truck, I hit the cell, but I think it is going to be captured by this. Yep, going to be captured by them, but it's empty, so I really actually do not mind at all. That building's actually a danger, so I actually bring in a Nighthawk, and the goal is bomb this building, kill the 2 squads of KDA shoots in here, and try to stop their advance, because KDA shoots in are very scary. Not because they're very good units and stat-wise, it's just because there's 14 of them, and they have a basically long lifetime. PVADs are moving up, and instead of engaging the infantry, they actually shoot at the Logi truck. So that is actually kind of unfortunate. Nighthawk comes in and manages to just blow up that building completely, clear that out, but does get taken out or hit by AA, and it does seem to be able to fly out. The problem with the Nighthawk is that it has absolutely no ECM. It relies on its stealth to get in. I'm bringing another Nighthawk. I think I saw like an AA or something there, so I am trying to bomb it. And I actually was bombing the Berryusa, and it gets shot down before either bomb was able to do its target. Laser guided means it needs to stay alive in order to guide it. I brought in another CV, as well as basically the last of my infantry and everything. I'm even bringing all of my 50 cows, and I'm trying to move up. As you can see, the 2 KDA shoots were completely wiped out by that Nighthawk blast, as my PVADs are engaging the KDA and Kodema over here. T-80 to right here. Military police are engaging with the recoilless rifle, but that is quite a bit and too much firepower. As you can see, they're bringing a huge artillery range to try to disrupt our push. But I am pushing forward with quite a few M1 Abrams. At this point, I am just spending to spend, because I am like legit floating, like, I think I was floating 5,000 points at one point, because I just had so much that I just needed to spend stuff. So my tanks didn't do too well. They got kind of caught in the crossfire as well as into the artillery, so they actually died. But I am actually going to continue pushing forward, as I desperately want to kill that CV. M2A2 Bradley pushing up from Plum. That probably could have backed off to my Logi. But again, this is such a hectic game, I lost track of it. But the good news is, of holding this middle, Panda finally got up enough forces, everything to push forward. And push forward he did. He's only been stopped, checked by a couple of Mi-24s. He ran out of AA. But he managed to push the enemy all the way up very far. They're in the T-80 BVK. Right there, and we all were like, oh, we got to kill that quickly. My Nighthawk was being repaired. I definitely would have used that if we could. But as you can see, we're starting to artillery it, and we desperately are trying to kill that CV, as we're also trying to push forward to kill the CV over here in Bravo. So my infantry, while exhausted, backed up by Abrams and PVADs and AMX-30s, constantly are pushing forward to take out this tree line. And firing against the Euros as well. Taking a side by the Fog-O, but even with only 4 side armor, the Fog-O didn't actually kill it on the first hit. And then I start bringing, well, that's not me. Yeah, it's me. I am brought in a bunch of mortars that start smoking up to help obscure the ATGM's line of sight so that I can move forward. And once again, they're retreating their CV. If I go switch to neutral for a second. They are retreating their CV back so that we don't actually kill it, which is actually a pretty smart move. And then once again, to bring on the Mi-24 VPs to try to hold off our force, as all of my AA does finally go down from this push. So there's nothing really to stop these Mi-24s from absolutely deleting my infantry. And so, time for a hasty retreat back. We got the zone. That's what we wanted. And I'm trying to get back, but they are, again, bringing in more artillery. They've had multiple FOBs, I'm sure. As a Jaguar C does come in, stuns the Mi-24. A PVAD does able to open up against the other Mi-24, and they are forced to go back. There is the BMP. It's actually engaging. But we have this zone. We are desperately pushing, trying to kill off the T-80. Panda got even more. It looks like he even tried to bring in some AMX-13 with 20 millimeters, but they actually ran out of fuel. So next time he does this, he should bring a supply truck to resupply on fuel so they can continue the rest of the way for this. Harrier moving up, gets taken out. I'm going to try to rocket it as more mortars and artillery keeps landing. They don't move this tank for a long time under all of this constant firepower. It was quite amusing as they are actually doing a counter push after Panda's attack fizzled out. We still have the +2 because we still have Bravo. That is good. We have enough to hold off an enemy push over here on the left-hand side. And I'm actually kind of curious. Oops. If I go to neutral, yeah, they left quite a few infantry here, but this actually is breakable. But they definitely would have responded with like the sheer amount of artillery they have. Gee whiz. Oh, anyways, I come on in. I bring in a Mirage 4. I'm hoping to kill like the BMP and whatever enemy forces that might have moved in. Mirage 4 does get shot down by Chiron AA over onto the right-hand side. That is tragic. I bring in more AA, more everything, and I'm desperately trying to reinforce this area. And I'm trying to gear up another push to go because I know he'll bring in that BMP once he brings in enough forces. So I need to do another mass casualty charge, which sounds horrible, and it is, but it's kind of the thing that I have to go with right now. T-80 BBK is actually routed as a Milan actually engages and kills the Tunguska, so that was actually very worthwhile. As a cluster munition is actually going over to where the tank was. But with it being routed, I doubt that the cluster munition will actually hit it. It will probably back up. And I don't know. It's the zone's still staying captured, which means he's still in the tree line. Nope, now he moved out. So now we have control over here on Charlie, just in time for us to lose control to make it go for Bravo to go neutral. RF rifles. First to reveal that the enemy forces have moved up as more artillery and stuff are moving in. MiG-23ML is flying overhead as it does get shot down by the AA that Fortega Panda has. I move my Dragon over to try to go and help them out, as well as a Lynx AH-7 with some ITO missiles. As, again, I'm just trying to spend points as much as I can while also microing in my abysmal way. Plum is doing another armored push with Abrams and Bradleys. Machutson are being torn up a bit as my RF rifles are moving down to try to recharge up. AMX-30s and a bunch of chieftains are also going to be moving up to help engage this. With the destruction of all of his vehicles, I am hoping that the infantry that he has are running dangerously low on RPGs and that my tanks would be able to take them out. AMX-30 moves up. Quickly engages the Machutson out in the open, and also takes a missile in front by some ATGMs and some T-64 BBs are moving up. I decide to move up with my chieftains, try to engage them, but I decide it's not really worth it, so I quickly smoke up. I'm going to retreat, try to let them get closer, and then try to better engage the enemy as more artillery comes flying in. As you can see, we don't have a FOB. They have probably multiple FOBs. And they're just constantly raining artillery on us, and that's kind of the only way that they've been checking our advances. But at the same time, we're able to continue pushing up, and they keep losing out onto that ability. AMX-30 is a little too far forward, does get a nice hit on the T-64, manages to fire, get another hit, but it's not long for this world. Or is it? It's not being shot at again. They're instead focusing on the Bradley. 1T64 gets taken out. Lynx hits with the Ito. The Bradley dies, and then they redirect onto the AMX. But the Itos are doing quite a bit of damage against these, forcing them to pop the smoke. As we are constantly bringing in our mortars as well. Bringing up my mortars here because I'm sure that there's enemy infantry as I'm getting ready to make my major push forward. Trying to move the Lynx, trying to get around the smoke. And get into a better position to be able to shoot at any enemy tanks that move up. We still have this zone as another chasseur push against Modestroki, backed up by some AMX-10s with the 20mm. That's going to really rip apart the Modestroki. I hope that... I actually didn't really pay attention if... no, it looks like they can use their RPG with the light machine gun as well. That's interesting. In war games, it's either the light machine gun or the RPG, but not both. But apparently in here, you can do both. So that is something good to know that I need to keep an eye on. Chieftain took quite a few shots from tank over there, taking quite a bit of fire. And so much was going on, and I was kind of overwhelmed from the amount of stickers on the map. I kind of got lost in what was going on, and stuff was doing ineffectively. One of my friends referred to this war game, and by extension this, as Sticker Wars, which made me laugh and can sometimes be true. So, can't really argue with that, as I did lose track of what things were going on and where. And as I said, I was confused as why my pushes were losing so quickly. I missed the fact that Buratinos were coming in as I was looking around at other places as well. Another push of BMP-1s. There's so many BMP-1s that No is bringing in, which makes sense. He is the 79th tank guard. So T-80B is coming up against the AMX-30 as well as a Mephisto with its Hot 2. And it is forced on the retreat. I am bringing up my Nighthawk, and I'm going to try to laser guide bomb that Cub as it is out in the open, and I had a very good feeling about this. I also see an OSA on this side. Maybe I can shift click, see if I can laser guide bomb both the Cub and the OSA, relying on the stealth. Hope I can get the bomb off before they notice me. Bomb goes out. Wait. Bomb goes out, and the moment bomb goes out, instantly gets acquired and destroyed by AA. So I'm like, okay, that didn't work. This game was definitely a very learning experience. A lot of my smoke grenades mortars are once again covering this so that my infantry can move up. I'm bringing up a bunch of PSSE-B, which I think I forgot to give the unload command right away. But that definitely worked out. But I actually am making them go back. I think I did a bunch of misclicks here. Yeah, I did a bunch of misclicks. I meant to unload them and then tell them to go back, but I guess I didn't have the shift button down when I did so. Terriers are moving up, but they're not far enough. They're not close enough to use the satchel, so they're just using their FM, as well as the T-64 also providing fire support on them, as I am just trying to bring in everything. Not the most, best gameplay. I know it's been quite a bit sloppy, but I'm still trying to get my handle on everything in this game, and it's certainly taking some getting used to again. I haven't definitely going on. T-64BV is being engaged by the ITOs of the AH-7, and it is stunned as the Chieftain does come forward and clean it up. More KDA Schutzen are there as the Terrier Pioneers are trying to engage them. The KDA Schutzen just have so much assault rifles that it is quite annoying to try to engage them. As I finally tell all of my forces to engage. I should have had my Hueys move up with their M60s to try to engage as well. But we still have control over Charlie. I began trying to push forward to gain control over Bravo, but we are down to the last minute and 30 seconds of this game. Looks like there was like an artillery piece right here. If we go back to neutral really quick. T-34. I don't know whether they're artillery, but anyways, I just saw something. I didn't realize it was there. That is a lot of tanks. They're gearing up for a massive T-34 push, and they better do it quickly because they have a minute left. So yeah, good luck to you guys. I don't know if they forgot to push it forward, as we are constantly pushing up. We actually pushed the CV out once again, but I am not going to let it get away. My chieftain is going full steam ahead. He is going to track down that BMP, even if it kills him. Finds the BMP-1. BMP-1 gets the first shot off, but misses. Chieftain Mark 10 finally kills that CV that was just the bane of our existence, constantly pushing in to retake that territory. And I am once again calling in smoke over to where the tanks are. And Plum was moving up to try to engage, but my mortars actually obscure the vision. And he was like all geared away. He's like, no, why'd you smoke? I was ready to kill them with all my M1A runs. It was sad and tragic, but there we have it. We're finally pushing in as the T-34 spam finally gets into this zone as the game ends. So that was too little too late to miss that T-34 spam, but that would have been funny nonetheless. I lost so much stuff as I was not playing in efficiently, and I am well aware of that. But yeah, that was definitely a fun little game and excursion there. Kills and losses, definitely individual units did have their moments to shine. Coilless rifles, definitely a mainstay. PVADs did actually pretty good, especially in providing covering fire. And yeah, I started bringing my artillery near the end because, well, we needed something to help break the gridlock. So, yep. Hope you all enjoyed this. I will try to get out more Warno videos more frequently. And I just noticed that apart from Panda, all of us are vastly negative, but we have a total victory. Completely different than what I'm used to in terms of destruction. But I should actually get some destruction games. I know they have that mode in here. I just play Conquest because that's what the vast majority of people play here. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next game. Bye-bye.